Hi everyone. I'm just going to go over some of the questions from the practice final exam and how I would think about them or how I would teach you to think about them. So instead of doing an actual answer key, this is what I'm going to do. Well, I guess I could post this afterwards as an answer key. I'll do that. All right. So question number 1. You spend $250 each day of the year on coffee. If your yearly salary is 48 grand, what percent of your yearly salary do you spend on coffee? All right, so in order to get a percentage, we either need a decimal or a fraction. And we can't pull a decimal here, so we need to start with a fraction. Now, fractions are part over whole. So let me grab this fraction. Okay, so the part here is going to be how much you spend on coffee. And the whole here is going to be your salary, right? Now, here is the issue. They give you how much you're spending on coffee per day. And then they give you your salary per year. So you need to get those on the same time frame. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to take 250 and multiply it by 365 days in a year to figure out how much we spend on coffee for the entire year. That is $912.50. So that is our part. Now our whole is the $48,000. Okay. Now once you have a fraction, in order to get to a percentage, you have to divide top divided by bottom, and it'll give you a decimal. So let's pull that calculator back up. 912.50 divided by 48,000. And you get 0.019. Now we know that once we have a decimal, to get it to a percentage, you either need to take the decimal and move it 2 to the right or multiply by 100. For visual purposes, I'm just going to multiply by 100 right in the calculator. So we got about 1.9%. It says round the percent to the nearest tenth. So that is 1.9. Nearest tenth means keep one number after the decimal. So 1.9%. And that is the answer. I will bold that. Which makes sense because $912.50, that's a good amount, but it's only a fraction of the $48,000. If you got something like 90%, you would know that that's not reasonable because that would mean almost all your income is being spent on coffee when you're only buying one a day. All right, so that's something to consider going forward. All right, taking a look at problem number 2 here. Oh, I did not want to do that. All right, so you have Frank's salary and you know he receives a 3% raise. And we want to figure out what his new salary is going to be. So basically we want $60,000 plus the 3%. Now, the 3% is the 3% of $60,000. So in this case, you have the percentage, which is 3%, but then you also have the whole, which is 60 grand. And we're looking for the part because the part is going to be how much is his raise. Now, to find the part or to find a percentage of a number in general, you multiply. So you would do 60,000 times 3% as a decimal, which is 0.03. Let's figure out what that is. 0.03. That's $1,800. Now, you might think, oh, okay, I'm done. I did a calculation. It's over with. Move on. But we didn't answer the question yet. So what is his new salary? His new salary is not $1,800, fortunately for him. So what we still need to do is take his salary, $60,000, and add on the $1,800 to it, giving us $61,800. There we go. Let me see if I can put this in the middle for you. All right, so let's take a look at number 3. This will be the last one for the video. I'm going to try and break it up so it's easier for you guys to follow. I'll do it page by page or something like that. So in 2010, Adidas did $7.14 million in footwear revenue. In 2017, they did $10.36 million in footwear revenue, making big moves, as most people probably know based on how popular their apparel has became. So we're looking for the percent increase. Well, to find the percent increase, you need to know how much the increase is first. Then you divide it by the original and turn it to a percent. In terms of a formula, this is what it looks like. So let me create it really quick. So you have a fraction. Like I said, it's the amount of the increase or decrease, because sometimes it's a decrease. You divide it by the original, and you times it by 100 to turn it into a percentage, because once you have this fraction, you're going to divide it, you're going to get a decimal, right? So I'm going to copy and paste this, and let's fill in some of the numbers here. I wonder if I can just get this all on one page though, because I'm OCD. There we go. All right, so the amount of the increase or decrease here, that means we have to subtract them to figure out how much the increase was. So we got 10.36, subtract out 7.14, you get 3.22, so it was a $3.22 million increase. So 3.22, because it's, you don't have to turn it into millions, into the actual long form number, just because we're turning this to a percentage anyways. And then the original is whatever happened first, not necessarily in the problem, but what happened first in the timeline. So 2010 happened before 2017, so that value is going to be the original. So let me erase this, 7.14, and now we're just solving this. All right, so equals 3.22. I still have it in my calculator. I'm just going to keep it there. Divided by 7.14 equals, times by 100. Ooh, did I mess that up? There we go. I got the number back. Times by 100. You get about 45%. Checkout wants you to round to the nearest tenth. So we got 45.0, but that 9 bumps the 0 up to a 1, so 45.1%. And that is our answer. That is the percentage increase. So that means that Adidas's revenue from 2010 to 2017 went up by 45.1%. Another way to say that is Adidas's revenue in 2017 was 145.1% of what it used to be back in 2010. All right. So that's that second example that I just said is using a percentage for comparison, right? Where you use 100 as your baseline, and because it is over, or it's because it's increasing, then it's over 100, you're adding it on, right? Okay, so that's enough for this video. I'm going to wrap it up, and then I'm going to go create a video for the next page. All right, have a good one.